You get used to being, in a weekly show, you get used to being weekly. It's a rhythm. You know you're going to be here.
That's right.
I mean,
and we had an extra day really wedged in because it was a leap year this year.
That's right. Yep. And in addition to that, triple whammy, the clocks changed in the States last Sunday.
Yeah.
And therefore, there's only a 4-hour time difference. So
all this time difference thing screws in my head.
Rather than it being 9 o'clock in the States, at the moment it's 10 o'clock
in the morning.
So
that we're in the future. This is what 2 o'clock this what 2 o'clock looks like.
Corinda had a future moment yesterday. We went live. I went live with David at 5 o'clock. Should have been 5 o'clock. And Corinda said we were live at 1 o'clock. His phone. He sent me a photograph on his phone, and it showed us live at 1 o'clock, not 5 o'clock. And I thought,
yeah. I've had weird stuff like that. Because I don't know how some mobile phones work, especially iPhones. And I'm not saying that's what I think, but sometimes because it must go by a signal somewhere. And my phone, I've been in a location and my phone's completely said the wrong time for about 20 minutes and suddenly gone back to the right time. And you think, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Now we can't let this pass. You've been talking about this for the past week, if not more, and that's Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And the gap that was filled in. Now, I don't understand the gap. So can you explain the gap?
Right. No, this is a good... I've been looking at a lot of Doctor Who Facebook pages, and a lot of people were not getting it. Actually, the whole thing makes complete sense to me. Now, this is where I baffle everybody. Right. In Doctor Who, an episode called Brain of Morbius, the Doctor is put on a machine and all his past lives are seen. And it was basically a big, massive continuity area because they didn't know the Doctor would last as long as it did. And basically Morbius says how many lives you had, and you see loads of the production crew dressed up as future were past Doctors, and that was then laid to rest and sort of brushed under and forgot about. Well, not by fans though, but they were hoping it and they tried to work around it. Later on in the 7th Doctor's reign, which was Sylvester McCoy, series 25, they said they started making hints back on this. That was in the first serial, Remembrance of the Daleks. But there was a comment that he says, "I'm more than just a Time Lord."
Okay.
But this was cut out later because I think they knew the show wouldn't last to explain this. But it goes on in the series. That series, the actual order of the stories were turned around because of, I think it's asbestos or something to do with the studios, and they had to rebook it all. And the story called Silver Nemesis, was all done on location, and this threw the recording back. So they had to change the stories, the greatest show in the galaxy and Silver Nemesis around to fit the 23rd of November date that story was supposed to be set on, to fit in with the actual date that it was going to be broadcast. Now, there is some errors in that. If you look out, the companion Sophie Eldred plays Ace. She gets a badge given to her in Greatest Show of the Galaxy, but she's wearing it in Silver Nemesis because it's meant to be the other way around. And that's one error, but more of who he was comes to mind because Lady Painful says, "I know your big secret that would change everything." And basically the series was meant to end with Sophie Eldred asking, "Who really are you?" And that's where the series was going to end. And then it sort of kicks off on the next series, the final series, that he was Merlin, the magician, and he didn't know that. And in a face that he didn't know, wasn't sure if it was the future or how it was if it was the past. And then it leads to lots more through the series into the end, and that's where it ended. And then that whole idea again got dropped because when it was brought back, they just carried on and completely left that angle. Now they've gone back to that, so they're filling the continuity areas of the bits at the beginning. Now this still leaves massive plot holes, and actually they've created a lot of plot holes. But what people don't realise is you've got to create plot holes to fix plot holes. And they keep saying this other lady Doctor Ruth is before the first Doctor William Hartnell. Now my guess is it's not. It's after, because the Doctor could have had as many lives as he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And the only place that he could fit afterwards is after Patrick Troughton's second Doctor, because you never see him regenerate into John Pertwee. It was just a crossover, and there's lots of suggestions to actually that in theory there was a Series 6B that could have been done, and I feel we'll find out later on that she fits after Patrick Troughton and before John Pertwee, and again her memory was wiped, and it then goes back. Now that doesn't make William Hartnell the first Doctor. A lot of people are saying that's not true at all, because anything pre-Hartnell was wiped, and it's from Hartnell that took on the persona of the Doctor. So William Hartnell is still the first Doctor. Anything before that is not the Doctor. So it makes sense to me, and I think there's a lot of stuff still to come and will be explained. And I think this is leading into the 60th anniversary here, and that's when you'll find out a lot. Now that's a couple of years away, but I think it's a small bits at a time. We've learnt the first bit that actually the Doctor was somebody else before the Doctor, but doesn't remember it. Yeah. And that's the first hint. So that then opens the door to where this Ruth Doctor sits. Because if you put Ruth was in between 2 and 3, you're going to have loads of people over Facebook saying, well, he can only regenerate 13 times. So how's that possible?
Right.
Now, when they announce this, I can see what they're doing. Now, when they announce this, they can say, yeah, oh, yeah, I can see now. Yeah, because it's got unlimited regenerations, but he just didn't know. Oh, so they could have fitted there. So people are not getting that at the moment, unfortunately. But I can see you can see what's coming down. So, and it will all tie in and make sense, but you just got to be patient. It's about fixing I think the guy in charge, massive Doctor Who fan. You know what I mean? He lived, breathed, and Doctor Who as a young person. So I think he must have, like any Doctor Who fan, like myself, like, what if that's what should have happened, that's what's happened, and thought of all these things and wants to fix them so the story actually makes sense. But people just got to be patient and wait for the whole thing to be unravel, and I think it will. And I think there's a lot more to come yet, and some more surprises.
Okay, we'd say hello to Becky, and says hello, Fonz and Stephen. Hello, Becky.
Have I confused you even more now?
I've got to ask, what do you think of the current Doctor?
What, Jodie Whittaker?
Yeah. Well, you don't have to answer.
Yeah, no. A lot of people said, I don't want a woman Doctor. I don't want a woman Doctor. It's like anybody, any Doctor. There is some bits that she's really good at, and some bits that I think it's basically the problem is to be a good Doctor. I don't think the stories are deep enough. Do you know what I mean? It's back in the day. It's gone from one extreme to the other with it, because back in the day they'll have a 7-part Dalek story and could have fitted into 4 parts, and it's got about 10 minutes for Dalek going, where shall I go? I think I will follow him. Yeah. Will you go down this corridor? Yes. Where will you go? I will go down this corridor. So it's a bit like from one extreme to the other. There's not enough in the episode to bring the full potential out, and I think that's what the problem is.
And the companions, because one of them's leaving.
2 are leaving.
2 are leaving, right? Okay.
Yeah, Bradley Walsh is going, and the other lad, isn't he? Because Bradley Walsh must be doing a remake of Darling Buds and May.
Oh right, okay. Busy lad.
Yeah. He's very. He does a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
But if he is leaving, one thing I would love to see that they should right into it, and they should have done it on the series final. Loads of Cybermen running down the corridor,
Yeah,
and then Bradley Walsh turning to the rest of the people, going, "The chase is on."
Oh dear, Becky, you appreciated that one, I'm sure. Right, okay. Now, last week we weren't here because it was 5 days live, and we had quite a week.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
we've done video where there's a 5 days live thing, and I think it's the first time I've got involved with it on a bigger scale, and it was certainly interesting. Certainly, it's amazing when people can discuss ideas and things that they've been through and experiences themselves. So it was definitely a good experience.
Yeah, I think that everybody's gelled. Everybody's getting to know each other a little better, and
Yes.
Joe was good and joined in. And we take a comment from Becky. And
What are your thoughts on this virus? Should England be doing more? I now see that Italian government has basically called for a mass lockdown of the country to try and contain it. Can I honestly say how I feel about it? Or
surely,
yeah. It seems to me we live our life like I can know. That's not where that come from. But anyway, it's like, it seems to me that every year if you look at it in history since the early 1980s, every year there seems to be something: bird flu, mad cow disease,
Ebola,
AIDS, or do you know what I mean, or something to do with food being contaminated. And it seems every year, and there's not a year, if you check it out, there's not a year when something hasn't happened. And to me, I'm like conspiracy stuff, but I'm starting to think there's more to this than what is actually going on, really, because it just seems to me it's coming too regular and too convenient. It seems like there's always something to create mass hysteria with people who start panicking and going crazy about stuff, and then 6 months down the line, everybody's all right and moving on from it. It sort of makes you wonder what is really going on.
Take your point. Becky again is saying yes, Fonz, but nowhere on this scale. And that's the point. This virus is now present in over 100 countries, and thousands of people have died. So we know it's totally real, and we know where it started. We know it came from bats to mammals or fish, and then spread from China and is global. And we have a situation where the only thing we can do is to stay away from my point of view, is to stay away from large crowds. And also, after you've been out, because you touch things whilst you're out, to actually wash your hands. That makes eminent sense to me, and it's probably good practice when there's a virus going on.
But it should be normal procedure anyway. That that's what you do. You touch something, you want to wash your hands afterwards. But I get what Becky's saying, but it's not that don't saying there isn't something there. It's not that at all. I'm not trying to say that it's an imaginary thing. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is it seems to be more to it. It's like it's used as a form of, I don't know, like distraction. Could there be more to it? But then maybe it's just one of those crazy ideas. Just what you never know the answer to. It just seems weird that every single year there's been something.
Yeah. I know one thing. I don't think I will ever go on a cruise ship. That's got to be the largest nightmare ever. To be out at sea on a cruise ship where people are falling ill around you and you can't avoid it. And for people,
unless you jump over.
Well, yeah, but you can't swim from where you
Yeah.
are. So,
that's right.
So they have shown great fortitude and strength to actually come through that. I mean, the ones who come back to the UK and then go in quarantine again for 14 days. And fortunately, the majority of people are actually recovering from it. And right, okay. Yes, that's right.
Control of population. It's not only, it's probably more than that. It's not about control of population. It's I don't know. It's distracting. It's distraction tactics. It's distraction because everybody's focusing on that. So what are we being diverted from? I don't know. It's all conspiracy. I
mean, the facts are that, I mean, closing down the whole country like Italy is not done unless it's totally necessary.
Yeah.
Because they tried to sort of close down 25% of the country, and the people said, "Okay, good, let's go to the other part of the country then." So what clearly wasn't working. So closing down the whole country is perhaps the way to actually delay it. What we don't know, and this is a scary thing, we don't know whether this is a winter virus or whether it's an all year round virus. If it's a winter virus, all we need is warmer weather and it will just disappear of its own accord, just like the flu does. If, however, well, it just doesn't bear thinking about.
It is very similar to a flu virus, really, isn't it? But more extreme.
Yeah. Well, if you or I had the flu today, then we wouldn't be able to hide it because we'd be coughing and sneezing and spluttering and speaking through our noses, and it just, you can tell. Whereas with coronavirus, it takes 5.5 days on average to actually appear. So the problem is that you're actually traveling around for 5.5 days, transmitting the disease that you don't know you have to other people.
Others. Yeah,
and that's the basic sting of this, is that nobody knows that you've got it, which is why sporting events around the globe are actually being stopped. Some are, some aren't. Our government are being pragmatic and saying, we don't have any cases that are actually going to cause a problem. We can still go on and play Premiership football.
Well, it's a bit like, I suppose, with these big sports places, if you look like big names, it's, if they cancel it and there's a set date when they've planned long in advance for it and promoted it for that date, it's going to be a massive, basically refund everybody, and a massive loss for the organisation. So a decision like that isn't taken lightly. It's like, do we probably end up a massive amount of debt, or do we just carry on? So that's the problem with events like that. Well,
Becky's making another good point in saying Boris obviously has no plan for the country. He has no idea what to do. I get that. I get that feeling as well. I get the feeling that they're making it up as they go along. But the medical people, I mean, we know that we've got the best medical service in the world, quite probably, and they will plan and they will be as ready as they can be. And we'll just have to hope that it's not just looking on. They are doing things, we just don't hear about it. It's like we don't hear about most things that the government's up to.
Yeah, a lot of things happening. A lot of things happen in the background.
Obviously, thoughts are with anybody who's contracted coronavirus, and wish you a speedy recovery. Don't want it to spread. It can stop now, but hopefully it will disappear in warm weather. Because one of the things to come out of this is, we said that stock markets are falling, which is panic. And basically that affects everybody, because that's where your pension is. It's in the stock market. So if that goes down, then you lose some of your pension.
But Corona beers suffered big time.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's an unfortunate coincidence of names.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just wondering. I saw a comment somebody put up. What happens if it was called the Jack Daniels virus? Would Jack Daniels suffer the same problem?
no, I did. People who are losing out, obviously, are people who hold conferences, real world conferences.
But it's good. It's a good thing because we live in a society now, luckily, that we can do online things. So that is a benefit, and this is proof of where it comes in handy.
Yeah, and that's what the conference speakers in the UK joined a group early this week. Come to that in a minute, Becky. Joined a group early this week, which is people in the Professional Speakers Association and the like, and they travel the world talking about the topics that they have great knowledge on, and their pleasure is the fact that they're in front of real people, talking to real people, and able to talk to them before, during, and after the presentation. And that's gone, and because they're being cancelled. So now the thing comes: can we do it remotely? But you're not going to have the immediacy of actually being in front of people, but you can communicate remotely. We're fortunate now that we can actually, this show can go around the globe and does.
You know what'll happen long after we're gone in the future. We won't have. This is the first step into online broadcasting. In years to come, it will be virtual reality. We'll stick a headset on and we'll all be in a room together, but virtual us. So we'll be in this conference room. I can walk up, talk to an individual personally, like you whisper in their ear and all that, but they're not really there.
What was the film with? Yeah.
What was the film I got that from?
The film with Bruce Willis. With Bruce Willis.
There's a lot of films. Die Hard.
I know. Not the Die Hard series, but he made one where he was actually in VR.
All right. Yeah. The Matrix is a good. That's a lot of theory. That's a big conspiracy that actually are we living in a Matrix at the moment.
That's true. Okay. Anyway, to practicalities.
I think at the end of the day, with anything like this, you can only take the advice that you're given, do what's recommended, because obviously people have long thought hard about that and think that's the best advice.
Yeah.
And doing all this mass hysteria stuff, like buying endless stuff, is just not helping the situation.
It's not at all. I mean, we went to Morrison's at the weekend, and no toilet rolls, very few tissues, no hand wash, no. It was just it'd been stripped by locusts. Everything had gone, and now you've got this strange situation where
of Andrix owning half the world.
Apart from the strange situation of Sainsbury's, who've not done this, is that we are limited on what we can buy.
Yeah, but it should be. It's like, I remember years. I don't know if you remember years and years ago when Tesco started doing value baked beans for like something like 2p a can. They had to limit it, people, because people were just coming in there and like filling up. I actually watched this lady fill a whole trolley up with baked beans for sheer hell of it because they were 2p a can, and they had to limit it to 5 cans per person maximum. And in situations like that, and that's what it should be. Okay, you can only have 1 pack or 2 packs, or that's your limit.
No,
we're in Suffolk.
We're just hoping for warmer weather, Becky, not snow. We haven't had snow this year. Have you had snow?
Had a little bit. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I was saying had a little bit, but it didn't last long.
No, we've hardly seen any.
Climate's changing. I think, honestly, to be fair, to me, it seems like the seasons are shifting. It's like when you look at summer, it seems to go on longer than what it used to, and it starts later. It's like, I reckon it's a natural progress, and it happens over a certain amount of centuries, and I think that's what's happening. Actually, the seasons are shifting a bit. That's why you get snow a bit later.
To Becky. All right, and Becky's saying, can you see the mortgages being put on hold in this country? I can't. Right. interest rates may go lower. I don't think if everybody's told to stay at home, then it's going to create, it's going to be an impossible situation for people to actually, shall we move on? Shall we have a pop quiz?
Yeah. I'm starting to think I've got this thing now.
Right, we're going to have a pop quiz, Becky. Let's change the mood.
I didn't feel like I'm feeling like, oh, God,
okay, let's do this. Becky, pick a year between 1970 and 1990.
It does make you paranoid as well, don't it? Really, you do when you start talking about it. Have you ever been like that? You've watched something on TV, or you start feeling that you've got the symptoms of it. It's crazy how your mind works, and it's like sometimes when you see somebody who yawns, that you start yawning yourself. It's a strange thing.
Becky's saying the plants are confused as well. The seasons. Becky, pick a year between. Please pick a year between 1970 and 1990.
I tried contacting Frankie Valli, and he can't even remember where the 4 seasons are.
No, not now. He can't. Not now. He can't. He could back in the day, though.
Yeah,
he could back in the day. Yeah.
He could get some high notes, that man.
All right, 1981. Okay, let's do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to the time machine, and I'm going to 1980s. Oh, and we're going to go to 1981. And now I'm going to share my screen. Just it all takes a little bit of time, but it's worth doing. So I'm going to share my screen, and we go for 1981 song quiz. Bring it over here, and then all we need to do is bring it up on screen. I'm going to turn my camera on. Well, no, I can just hang on. I put my camera
off. God, don't scare people.
Screen. There we go. I need to take the banner off as well. Let's do this properly, because we can. So that's the banner off. So we're now playing the 1981 songs quiz, chosen by Becky. And shall we begin?
Oh yeah, the average is 6.73.
Right. So
we got to beat the average.
Right. Let's go. Who had a hit song? Being With You. Was it the Moody Blues, Smokey Robinson, ABBA, or Stevie Winwood? Are you going to punt for anything here, or?
Yeah. Do you want me to give a guess? Because this would be a guess.
Okay, go.
I don't recognise ABBA, Smokey Robinson. Right. I'm saying Steve Winwood.
And I'm saying the Moody Blues. The casting vote is yours, Becky.
I was going to say Moody Blues, but I thought they were more 60s group. So,
well, that's true. That's a fair point.
That's what put me off.
Right.
That's what put me off.
Now I'm being swayed towards it being Steve Winwood.
Yeah. So I was originally thinking Moody Blues, but Steve Winwood was my backup. Right.
Now, this is the cat amongst the pigeons time, because Becky's saying Smokey Robinson. Right. You can't toss a coin because we've got 3 answers.
Yeah. Well, you go Moody Blues, I'll go with Steve Winwood, and Becky's got Smokey Robinson.
Yeah. So shall we go? Let's be gallant, shall we? And we'll go with Becky, and we'll go with Smokey Robinson. Wow!
Yeah,
Becky, you are ace. We've said it before. We'll say it again. You are ace, right? Wow!
And we've never known that.
See, we now know that gallantry pays, don't we?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Right. Who had a hit with Morning Train 9 to 5? Was it Sheena Easton, The Who, Adam and the Ants, or Smokey Robinson? Well, we know it's not Smokey Robinson, don't we? Because we've done enough of these quizzes now to know we don't get the same answer twice. Becky,
no. It's Smokey again. Is that her guess? Is that the last one?
All right, we're just waiting for Becky because we know
All
there's
right.
a delay between
I'm gonna say Adam and the Ants.
Right. Well, on my answer to this, and we'll wait for Becky to put hers in. And yes, I am with Becky on this one. This we're tied on for this one, Fonz. It is.
The only thing I think of when I think of her is the James Bond.
Yeah,
one
James Bond is right. Yeah.
I don't even know which one that was.
Yeah. So Sheena Easton.
Which James Bond film did she do there? I can't even remember. You Only Live Twice or something, innit? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Right. Question 3. Who had a hit with this song? Trouble? Was it Neil Diamond, Adam and the Ants, Lindsey Buckingham, or The Who?
This one is causing trouble.
It is, isn't it?
I say Lindsey Buckingham.
She was in Fleetwood Mac, wasn't she? Or possibly still is. All right. Okay. So we've got 2 going for.
Well, she isn't, and they just didn't told her.
Right. I can't remember the Who singing this or Adam and the Ants. I'm sure we'll get an Adam and the Ants sung up soon. Yeah, I know. That's why we're doing a delay, waiting for your answer.
Wasn't Lindsay wasn't Lindsay a man?
Could be. He is, yes.
Yeah.
So
because
because
the other one,
it's a lady's name though.
Yeah, no, but the other one's got a man's. I can't think of her name out of the Fleetwood Mac. She's got a man's name, Stevie something. She's called
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks. Yeah, she's called Stevie Nicks, and he was called Lindsay. So it's the other way around. Yeah.
Yeah, Mick Fleetwood. Those were the days. Right.
Were days, my
Lindsay.
friend.
Right. Just a word of explanation, Becky, so that there is anything between a 15 and 20-second delay between our seeing it here and you seeing it there and being able to comment. That's because this goes out. First of all, it goes out to Be Live, and then from Be Live it goes to Facebook, and they all do some processing.
YouTube.
And it takes time. So there is a delay, and we are powerless to do anything about it. But what we can do is, with one voice, say the answer is Lindsay. Wow, what a start. What a cracking start. Right. Who had a hit with this song? Hold On Tight. Was it Eric Clapton, George Benson, ELO, or I nearly said George Washington then.
Grover. That makes me think
of Washington.
That makes me think of Sesame Street.
With us, but who's Grover Washington?
Don't know. Is he the puppet out of Sesame Street? Because there's a puppet called Grover on Sesame Street. I'm Grover.
Yeah, and Becky's confirming Lindsay's a man.
Yeah, see. She's a man.
Right, okay. This is one where
walk on the wild side.
Lou Reed. Hold On Tight.
Hold on. You can sort of imagine that song in your head.
Oh. Yeah, I can hear a guitar.
Yeah. I'd say
oh, wait a minute. No, I can hear I can actually hear ELO. Or Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton wasn't in ELO, so it can't be a crossover.
No, it's not a crossover. I'm just saying that in my head, I've got ELO.
Yeah. Well, should we go for ELO? Because I've got no idea.
Well, we can now. We're safe in doing so because of Becky. Right. Okay.
Yeah. I can hear it, but I don't know who. The Who.
Right, we're on YouTube. Well, what was the song? Never mind. I'll do.
The Who.
I'll get Alexa set up for next week. Right. So ELO it was. Question number 5 of 10. Who had a hit with this song? I Can't Stand It. Was it Lindsey Buckingham, Eric Clapton, The Who, or Neil Diamond? Can you visualize this one?
I'm saying The Who because it's their kind of title.
Yeah, I'm Who'd too. So we're locked on Who'd. We're just waiting for a confirmation vote from Becky. And yeah, okay. I Can't Stand It. All right, I think that's it, Fonz. We've got 3 votes for The Who. So
Oh, it's not. It's Eric
It's
Clapton.
not. It's Clapton. What happened? Okay, that brings us back to Earth. Who had a hit song with Turn Your Love Around? Was it George Benson, Adam and the Ants, Grover Washington Jr. and Bill Withers, or Neil Diamond?
I still keep thinking of Grover out Sesame Street.
Well, yeah, okay. But
him and Bill.
I'd like to think this is the 80s, though. I'd like to think Edison Lighthouse could have done this.
Yeah.
It sounds balladish, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds like a ballad. So Neil Diamond, perhaps?
Yeah, I'd say that, yeah. Or George Benson.
Or Neil Diamond or George Benson.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And Neil Diamond or George Benson, we're waiting. Yeah, I can't hear it in my head. It's not a familiar title. I've no idea.
The thing is, love. The words "love" around in it. First thing that popped into my head is "Love Is All Around" by the Trogs and Wet, Wet, Wet.
Yep. Right. Okay. Now none of us have a clue. This is good. So, Fonz, where shall we go?
Neil Diamond.
All right. Fonz is going for Neil Diamond.
And if it ends up George Benson, then you shouldn't have took my advice. So you shouldn't have took my advice.
Right. Who had a hit with this song? Urgent. Was it Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind and Fire, Foreigner, or ELO? Stevie
Wonder.
All right. Okay. That's one vote for Stevie Wonder. I'm not voting this time, so especially for Becky. Yeah.
Because it's a wonder why it's urgent.
Yep. He's had a very long career as Stevie Wonder, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ebony and Ivory.
Even when back when he was a young kid, then he started out.
It was Motown, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So he must be getting on a bit now as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I think his biggest hit was what people probably recognise him most for is I Just Called to Say I Loved You. Do you remember that from the 80s?
Oh yeah, yeah. Right, Becky's vote is in. Becky's voting for Foreigner.
Who did I say? Stevie Wonder.
You did. Would you like to change your mind?
It is actually, yeah, she's right. It just popped back into my head where
all right.
I can hear it now. It is Foreigner.
Okay.
Yeah, she is right. You know that moment when it suddenly comes back to you?
Right. This is a weird one. What a title for a song. Wordy Rapping Hood is the song. Was it Stevie Winwood, Diana Ross, Tom Tom Club, or ABBA? Well, I'm gonna go here and state this is not an ABBA song, but I could be wrong.
It could be funny if it is.
Well, it would be, but
Wordy Rapping Hood. Rapping Hood.
What is that in Swedish?
Wordy Rapping Hood.
No, it could be a rap song, I suppose.
Yeah, Tom Tom Club. It can be.
All right. Okay. So we're going to say this is a weird one.
Yeah.
Well, I am saying it's a weird one. And no, I can't say Diana Ross. Too classic for this. It's not an American phrase, is it?
No. It's a bit like Little Red Riding Hood turned into a rap character.
Yeah, it's not. Not Diana Ross or ABBA. And right,
it's a more. Do you know what I mean? It's something that you'd hear more recently, and I can imagine the Tom Tom Club are more rapping than the rest. So,
yeah, we're in good company because Becky's never heard of it either. So we're going to go with, because we've never heard of it, Tom Tom Club. Right, that was a process of elimination, teamwork as well.
Yeah.
Lately, was it the Commodores, Dottie West and Kenny Rogers, Stevie Wonder, or Smokey Robinson?
Do you know, I can hear this in my head.
All right, and information coming in on Tom Tom. They sang with Talking Heads.
Ah.
Right. Now we know. So lately, to me, this sounds like well, I'm going to say it's
Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers song. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who I can. That's who I can hear saying
Yeah.
it, singing it.
Who's Dottie West?
Don't know. Sounds a bit dotty to me.
This is country and western, isn't it? Are you a big country and western fan?
I like country and western. Yeah.
Right.
The only thing I can tell you about Kenny Rogers, two things: Ruby, Long Deacon Love the Town, and Islands in the Stream with Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you listen to it carefully, because it was produced by the Bee Gees, that actually the backing vocals are done by the Bee Gees herself.
Right. Becky's saying
that's all I know.
Yeah, Becky's saying the Commodores. Can you hear it now?
No, well, I thought they were busy making computers, but there you go. It's what's the name in it? That guy. Hello, Lionel Richie, Commodores, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. So
I don't know. I'm not a big Commodores fan.
All right. So we got you and I plumping for Kenny Rogers, yeah.
Yeah.
So Becky, our apologies for getting this one wrong.
We're all wrong.
We're all wrong.
I can't imagine Stevie Wonder singing a song like that.
Right, and the last one. We've got to get this last one right. Who had a hit song with One of Us? Orland Oates, Abby, Lindsay Buckingham, or Diana Ross? Becky, have you got any glimmer, an idea, a legitimate?
Who sang the song Two of Us? Just the two of us. That's what keeps popping into my head.
Right. Okay, but that's right. Daryl Hall and John Oates. I'm going that way. I just
that was my choice.
Diana Ross.
No, Hall and Oates. Right. That was my.
Okay, and we need this one, right? Okay, you both say the first choice, and we need this one to beat the average. So let's go for it. That one, Hall and Oates.
Zappa. I can't. I can't imagine.
Sorry, Becky.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine Abba singing a song like that.
We got a D. What's going on?
Don't know. Bad year for us. Bad year. Wasn't our year.
No.
My excuses was only 2 years old, so that's why I didn't know much.
I was a bit older than 2 years old. Yes. Okay. Well, I mean, we're doing this for fun, but it brought back some memories of some songs.
And brought new ones for songs we didn't know about.
Yeah, it was the songs we didn't know about that was the thing that turned it there.
I was a bit disappointed we didn't get Adam and the Ants.
Yeah. Becky, thank you. You got most of the 6. Has to be said.
She says I can't stand ABBA. I don't think many of them can. I don't think many of them group can. Now getting on a bit.
I don't think. Is there a reunion in the offing?
Yeah, well, they said there was never going to be one, but there is going to be one now. So.
Yeah, and Genesis are on the way.
Yeah, yeah, Genesis. Yeah,
yeah.
It's. I didn't think Phil Collins could play drums anymore.
No, I don't think he could. I mean, how many times has he retired?
I don't know, but it's been a long time. I didn't think he was able to play. So this is all.
Perhaps they've got another drummer and he's on vocals.
Probably might be. That's probably what could be happening.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We've done that. No. Right now, agenda-wise, I'm just trying to look. Nope. We've nothing on the agenda, Fonz, so we're going to have to busk it to make something.
Well, I got the video to show you.
That's true. Shit. Right. Yes. Brilliant. Okay. What a great way to actually continue.
Right, I'm going to make sure. I'm going to show you when I work out how to do this.
Okay.
The original first.
Yep.
So I don't know if that's popped up at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell me when it's on the screen because I can't see your end.
Right, okay.
I'll expand it.
Right, I'm going to share it on screen now.
So, do you want me to start playing? Yeah.
I'm going to turn your camera off. I'm going to turn my camera off, and it's ready to go.
Right. This is it in the original format. I play a little bit of it in black and white. So this is how it looks. So this is how it was broadcast.
Does he really run about with 2 guns strapped to his hips? And he was a man like that. Like, you know, I mean, I was able to say yes, certainly. I wouldn't lie about it because he did definitely think it was Wyatt Earp or something like that.
This man, James Griffiths.
Right. So that's that one. If I get rid of that one, take that one off the screen, and hold on, I just removed that one. Oh, we've all gone.
We can still be heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm just going to bring up the other one. I'm still
Right.
going to bring up the other one ready.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find it at the moment. So this is a colorized version that I spent a long time putting together. I'll explain about it more afterwards, but tell me when you're ready. Is it up on the screen? And then I can...
it's now up on the screen.
So this is what you just saw with color added by me. There. It says there.
People were ever asking me, does he really run about with 2
Wow.
guns strapped
He
to
looks
his hips?
real.
And he was a man like that. Like, you know, I mean, I was able to say yes, certainly. I wouldn't lie about it because he did definitely think it was Wyatt Earp or something like that.
This man, James Griffiths.
So there you go. So they're the two. They're the two in color and black and white, and he uses an interesting technique how you do it. Basically, even I don't know if you want to bring us back up.
Okay.
That he actually uses how it works. It's quite a complex process. It's not in the public domain at the moment, but it's what missing episodes on TV that they've used to bring back color to missing episodes that have only got in black and white. And even though if it's in black and white, it still holds some kind of across the top and the bottom dot colorization, like of colors. And what it is this software reads those colors that have been marked dot across the top and then puts them in the place where they should be. So best way to describe it is when you've got a crisp packet and you've got the dots in the corner of a crisp packet of the colors that make it up. There's also this even on black and white film, and the software uses that to bring the colors into the picture. But it is hard work because sometimes, especially what I found with this one, that a lot of movement, the colors move from the thing. So if you've got somebody's face and they're moving very quickly and they're running forward, it will leave that behind. So you have to afterwards. There's a lot of editing involved as well. It's not the best colorization. It's not perfect, but it does give you an idea of how it could have looked in color. And I think that's what I was trying to aim for. You can never take away the original, because sometimes things look better than the original, but it just gives you an alternative of how it could have looked.
Well, it does. It makes it 3-dimensional. Well, not literally. It brings it to life.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I'll try and, because it's still on the screen, I'll skip forward.
Okay.
So let this sort itself out. Look at the colours. So it's, if you watched it, the chairs and how they look more real, like you were saying, they look more real, don't they? They actually stand out. And what I've noticed as well with the colour version, that you notice things in the background more, or something that you didn't notice in the black and white version. As you can see, it even shades it, so it's it is quite good in respect of how it works. There is some things like with this, it's a struggle because this motion, this good example. they're running down there, and the motion, that color there is from here, and because it's such a fast movement that it's spread it across here.
It's bleeding, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, bleeding. So yeah, it's hard to edit that. So it's a lot of hard work, because you can imagine it in that one episode. I think there was, I did write it down. 47,769 frames.
Wow.
And you have to go through every single frame to, once it's processed it, to just touch things up. And it gives you each frame as a photo, basically, and then you just do the fine tuning on it. So yeah,
it's a labour of love.
Oh yeah, it's just, I've always I get excited about it when it's done, because it's like, I know you can never replace the original, but it does give you an idea of how it could have looked. Like this bit here, it's like the road comes out brilliantly, and these buildings, they stand out more. If you look at them, it's because it's a solid object. I find solid objects work much better because it keeps the frame and stuff. But where their heads are moving, their hands are moving, that's what I'm struggling with at the moment. Like you can see, like her there, everything's in place. I'm trying to find a frame of movement where it's moving. But if you look at this, because he's in one solid place, the wallpaper details, it's easier to, and because he was moving his arms about, you can see sometimes it doesn't match up.
Right.
It's like here is movement there, and I'm trying to find a good example of, you see, because he's the one moving, but the rest of him around him is solid frames. And look at the detail that can be added to that.
Yeah.
Because it's not moving, it's staying in one place.
Yeah.
So it's the movement, which is the thing that I've got to master a bit more. But both of them are available on YouTube, the original black and white and the coloured version.
Brilliant.
It shows you what's possible. What's possible?
It does.
You know it's colorized. You can see it is colorized, but it gives you. It's not there, like I said. It's not there to replace the original. It's there to give you just an idea, and like you said, make it more realistic, more 3D, and
well,
and
we see things in colour, don't we?
Oh yeah.
So when we see something in colour, we can associate with it more closely. I've got a question from Becky, and she's just trying to remember the colour of the Granada channel sign. And
it's blue and yellow, but this one here, now if you're looking at this one here, you'll notice, if I go back to it, is that's me. Let me just move this forward a bit.
Okay.
That's me. That's not the Granada light. That's the Granada logo. This one is, because it's not blue, it's blue and yellow, but this one is actually recorded in black and white. Yeah. So this one here we're seeing was never blue and yellow.
It was always black and white. Yeah.
This one, yeah. Because that's probably deliberate, because they knew they were filming in black and white. If they put blue and yellow, I don't think it would have looked more as noticeable as that one. So when colour come in, they then changed it to blue and yellow.
And Becky is saying about the video, it makes everything a lot clearer.
Yeah, like I say, even though it's not brilliant, it does give you an idea and opens a door for opportunities. Because as I learn more, I probably get a bit better on other things and stabilize it a bit more. But my next project isn't to be something that's moving around a lot, especially people running up and down the road with chasing each other. And the camera movement in some of that is unbelievable. It's like I really picked the wrong thing to to start with. But then again, maybe I didn't. Like somebody said, maybe you didn't because you've gone in head first, and now you know. So with something much easier, it's
you've got
not
the
so much. Yeah. But I'm going to try and recolor many things. A lot of it, old Cambridge footage. So lots of things that are recorded in Cambridge in black and white, I'm going to turn to color. So
bringing them to life.
Definitely, and it's good software. It's not like it's not in the public, but I was asked to test it out and give it a go, and for a good reason. They asked me what the good reason was, and I said to recreate history. So,
indeed, to bring things to life.
Yeah,
right.
It shows you how technology is progressing. But it's a lot of how a lot of things were done in the early days. The best example, I don't know if anybody's got the Laurel and Hardy set where they colorized all the episode, all the things to do with Laurel and Hardy. It's the same software used for that.
Wow.
So, but of course they had lots of people, so they could stabilize it better than what I could.
Right.
So so it shows you that what is possible. It's, you just said that to me last week when I was ripping my hair out. Like, go and give up.
I echo everything that Becky said. Having the software is one thing, and being able to use it effectively is another. So
it is. It's a lot of code. It's a lot of codes and a lot of changing things, and it is an headache. And you think, oh, I can't be bothered, but it is worth it at the end.
Yeah.
And it's. I think as well. It's bringing. I think color encourages people more to watch things. So because people don't rely on old black and white. So hopefully it's bringing old black and white footage to a new generation as well.
Brilliant. Well, I wish you every success in doing it, and look forward to seeing the results on the Cambridge Historian. Are you going to put them on the website?
Yeah, there will be eventually. Yeah, I've only got one up on YouTube at the moment, so there's no point putting that. And that's that one. That was my trial. I did a short little bit of Cambridge first, and that was quite easy to do, which was. Oh, this is brilliant. This is easy. Then I decided to do a whole 30 minutes, and there you go. But it's going to be a slow process. So things will be going up, so you just got to keep an eye on it really on my YouTube channel, because it's not like making a video and then sticking it through some video software and adding a logo and that in the corner. It doesn't take 30 minutes.
Right.
More like what you just saw, about 2 weeks.
Right. There we are. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great way.
I was going to say something else. I was thinking of it as I was saying it. Now I completely forgot. So then we'll have to wait till next week.
We'll come back to you. I mean, we do know we're back next week, so that's a good thing. Yeah. Right, we've come to the top of the hour.
Yeah.
Fonz.
Oh, there was yeah. Yeah, I suppose to finish it off, just remember, even though it was black and white, it can still be colour. That's my advice for today.
Right.
And the other thing is, as well, if you start coughing, don't leave your house. Just start panicking and buy loads of toilet roll.
If you can find any.
If you can find any.
Okay.
Or if you've got lots of toilet roll, there's a bit even better advice. If you've got lots of toilet roll, eBay it. And not cheap.
No, this is not a joke. Unfortunately, a chap bought a pallet full of toilet rolls. Didn't go to Sainsbury's. He went to a wholesaler, bought a pallet full, and you can find those on eBay at 50 pence a roll. With that, on that note, take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.